Hi everyone, today we have a 2015 Kia Forte 1.8 liter. Customers concerned, they had the brakes done a few weeks ago and they're driving down and brakes are working fine. Then all of a sudden it makes a grinding, like a growling sound. Sounds like it's metal on metal, then it goes away for a while, then it comes back. One of the characteristics will cause that is from aftermarket brake pads from an auto parts store. So I'll show you what I found out. I drove it, it had a little bit of squeak when you backed up in parking places and things, but I didn't hear the growling. But I did notice that the face of the rotor, all across the center of it, it's got like a heat line. There's like a circular line, and you can see it's almost blue from getting so hot. And that's another characteristic of the aftermarket brake pad. The material is so hard. So I made a chalk line, you know, through here so you can see the area I'm talking about in between this area right here, from here to here. You can see it's definitely a different color than the rest of the brake rotor. That's a good shot of it right there. So that whole center area, it's just getting super hot. So the only thing that can cause that, if the caliper guide pins were completely worn out or something like that, and you can see this guide pin when they did the job, they didn't get it back over the little boot. And you can see this guide pin right here is in the correct place, but that one there is not. So we'll take that out, we'll clean it up with some synthetic grease. And what I did is the rotor steel feels real good, there's no pulsation. I'll throw a dial indicator on them to make sure there's not much run out, but someone surfaced them and you can see little things like the screw here that holds it. They didn't get the screw all the way back in. So I'll check the caliper mounting torque on these bolts also. So it's just kind of, when you see stuff like that, pretty shady. And you see stuff like that and you're paying good money for it, I don't know. Here's the brake hardware that was on it. So you can see it's all shiny in here. It almost looks like it's cracked in the center there. So that's completely worn out. They left that on there, the old hardware. Here's the brake pads they put on that the customer bought them. I think he said they bought them from AutoZone. But you can see it's a real glazed surface. Okay, now there's difference. Here's the brake pads from Kia. When you put the pads side by side, I'll put them top to bottom here, it's a whole different, the way it's built, the way the edges are chamfered, the type of material. So the material can actually wear down and it won't ruin the rotor. Then of course on the back, it has a nice shim built in there. On the back on this one, it has a shim on there, but it's just a little, like a removable shim. Then on the inboard pad, which this one is because it has a little wear indicator sensor on it, it's got a little shim that comes off too. And this one has a stainless steel plate. So it's just a, and there's another shim in between that. So it's just a very high, when you lift the weight of them, this is a lot physically heavier. It's just a more dense, better product. And that's what we're going to put on. And then we have some new little accordion boots, and there's a little bushing on the guide pins. And let's see if we can see. Yeah, this little bushing also gets worn out. This little bushing here gets expanded and it makes it, this pin sticks. So the piston pushes the brake pad in, the piston here pushes the brake pad in, and then the guide pin allows this outer pad to pull in this way. So it pushes from here, pulls from here. If this guide pins are all dried up, not working properly, that's going to be a big issue there. And obviously nobody put new grease in it. This is all very old. So it's poor quality workmanship all the way around. The reason I made this video is so you can see the difference. You find a mechanic that can, you know, tighten the screws down properly, put the dust boots on properly, lubricate the parts that are supposed to be lubricated, replace the hardware that's cracked and worn out, and just tell the customer, hey, you need to put a good quality brake pad on here. The customer went back to have them re-inspect it, and they re-inspected it and they told them there's nothing wrong. So a little tip from John Sadler is you got to pay close attention. You need to use a good quality part. I try and use all OEM brake parts, especially on just almost everything, because it holds up much better. It's way better quality than the aftermarket. Thank you very much.